If he gives you just enough to stay, but never enough to feel safe, that's not confusion. That's a strategy. You're not asking for too much. You're asking the wrong man for something real. Breadcrumbing is not love in slow motion. It's attention in tiny doses. He sends a sweet text, then disappears for 2 days. He watches your story, but avoids real effort. That little hit of hope keeps you waiting. And that is exactly why it works. But here's the truth. A man who wants to build with you does not keep you guessing. He makes things clearer, not blurrier. He brings peace, not puzzles. Think about it. When someone truly values you, consistency is natural. They do not act interested only when they feel lonely. Example, he says, "Miss you," at 11 p.m., but when morning comes, he is gone again. That is not romance. That is access. Sometimes he breadcrumbs you because he likes being wanted, not because he is ready to love. Your attention boosts his ego. It reminds him he still has power. So he checks in just enough to hear you respond. Then he pulls back after he gets the emotional refill. Pay attention to this. He often comes closer when you start moving on. Not because he changed, because your distance scares his ego. He misses the attention, not the responsibility. That is why his timing feels so strange. He reappears right when you begin to heal. Mini example. You stop texting for a week, and suddenly he sends a heart. Not a plan, not commitment, just a breadcrumb. Sometimes the real reason is simple. He wants the benefits of you without the duties of a real relationship. He likes access to your warmth, your listening, your softness, your body, your hope. But he does not want accountability. He does not want to show up every day. This is where it gets interesting. Breadcrumbing lets him stay in control. He decides when the door opens and when it closes. You are left adjusting to his mood. That creates a painful power imbalance, and after a while, you start shrinking yourself. You say less, need less, ask for less. Mini example. He says, "Let's see where this goes." Months pass and it goes nowhere. Another reason? He may be emotionally unavailable. Not in a cute, mysterious way, in a damaging way. He likes connection until it asks something from him. The moment things get real, he retreats. But here's the truth. Some people love the feeling of intimacy, but panic at the work of intimacy. They like late-night vulnerability, but not honest daytime effort. They say, "I've just been dealing with a lot," and maybe that part is true, but pain does not excuse poor treatment. Mini example. He tells you deep things on Friday night, then acts cold when you ask what this actually is. That hot-cold cycle is not depth. It is instability. Sometimes he breadcrumbs you because he is keeping options open. And you are one of the options. Hard to hear, but important to hear. He does not want to lose you completely. He just does not want to choose you fully. So he keeps a tiny thread attached, just enough to come back later. Pay attention to this. If someone truly fears losing you, they act. They do not send vague signals forever. Real interest moves forward. Breadcrumbing keeps you on a shelf, close enough to grab, far enough to ignore. Mini example. He says, "I've been thinking about you," but avoids every chance to see you clearly. That message was not a bridge. It was a bookmark. And now, the hardest part. Breadcrumbing hurts so much because it plays with your brain. Inconsistent attention can feel addictive. One tiny message can erase a week of silence. Your mind says, "Maybe this time." Your heart says, "See, he does care." This is where it gets dangerous. You stop judging the pattern and start worshiping the exception. One good night makes you forgive 10 bad days. One sweet text makes you forget the emptiness. That does not mean you are weak. It means you are human. But healing starts when you read the full story, not the best moment. Mini example. He leaves you confused all month, then sends, "You deserve better than me." And somehow you stay. Not because that line was honest, because hope is powerful. So what is the real answer? He breadcrumbs you because crumbs keep him comfortable. Love would require clarity, effort, risk, consistency, choice. Breadcrumbing requires almost none of that. And listen carefully. If you feel anxious, unseen, and half-chosen, the pattern is the answer. You are not hard to love. You are just being fed crumbs. If this hit home, stay close. We talk about the kind of love that feels safe.